you know 70s muscle cars? Wait till you see these 10 beasts so rare, most people don't even know they exist. And number 1 will blow your mind!
Number 10.
Let's kick things off with a true king of the 70s muscle car era, the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda convertible. This car isn't just powerful, it's a beast that terrified the competition on the street and the strip. Under the hood, it packed the legendary 426 Hemi V8 engine, pumping out around 425 horsepower at a time when most cars barely cracked half that. It wasn't just brute force either. The Hemi Cuda's aggressive styling, shaker hood, and unmistakable presence made it an icon overnight. But here's what makes it ultra rare. In 1970, only 14 Hemi Cuda convertibles were ever built. High insurance costs, stricter emissions rules, and sky-high prices meant few buyers could justify owning one. Today, that tiny production number makes it one of the most sought-after American cars ever made. Some have sold for millions at auction because collectors know how impossible it is to find an original. It's the ultimate symbol of raw American horsepower and the end of an era when big blocks ruled the streets. If you ever see a real one in the wild, consider yourself lucky. It's the holy grail for muscle car fans.
Number 9.
Next up is a legend that marked the end of an era, the 1971 Pontiac GTO Judge convertible. By 1971, the muscle car market was under attack from stricter emissions laws, rising insurance costs, and changing tastes. But Pontiac refused to let the Judge fade away quietly. The Judge package added bold graphics, a ram air hood, spoilers, and a reputation for pure street dominance. Under the hood, buyers could still get serious power. The 455 HO V8 delivered up to 335 horsepower and massive torque, keeping the Judge's performance legacy alive even as the muscle era was winding down. But what makes this car truly ultra-rare is that 1971 was the final year for the Judge option, and Pontiac built fewer than 20 GTO Judge convertibles that year. Most buyers chose coupes, making the convertible version a true unicorn today. Many didn't survive the gas crisis and insurance hikes that killed big performance cars, so finding an original 1971 GTO Judge convertible now is like finding buried treasure. Collectors fight over the few that appear at auctions, and the value keeps climbing every year. It's loud, bold, and unapologetic, a perfect farewell to Pontiac's muscle car glory days.
Number 8.
The 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS454 LS6, a car that still defines what pure American muscle means. This wasn't just any Chevelle. The LS6 option packed the biggest punch Chevrolet ever offered in a production car at the time. A monstrous 454 cubic inch V8, factory rated at 450 horsepower. In reality, many believe these engines made even more than that, easily pushing the Chevelle SS into the high 12-second quarter-mile range right off the showroom floor. Back then, that kind of speed was almost unheard of for a street car you could drive daily. But while the Chevelle was popular, the top dog LS6 version was built in very limited numbers because it cost more and scared off many buyers who didn't want the insurance headaches or gas bills. Original documented LS6 Chevelles are incredibly rare today, especially ones that haven't been raced, wrecked, or modified beyond recognition. Spotting one in factory condition is like spotting a tiger in the wild, thrilling and almost impossible. Collectors love them for their raw power, aggressive looks, and legendary status as one of the most powerful muscle cars Detroit ever built. For many gearheads, this is the ultimate Chevrolet to own. Number 7 on our list is an underdog legend that true muscle car fans respect. The 1971 AMC Javelin AMX 401. While AMC was always the smaller player compared to the big three, they weren't afraid to throw down when it came to raw American power. The Javelin AMX 401 was their answer to the Mustang Mach 1 and the Camaro Z28. For 1971, AMC gave the Javelin a fresh new look, longer, lower, and wider, with aggressive fender flares and a bold grille that made it stand out at the track and on the street. The real highlight, though, was under the hood, the new 401 cubic inch V8. Rated at 330 horsepower and serious torque, it turned the lightweight Javelin into a sleeper that could run with the best Detroit had to offer. But the AMX 401 wasn't a common sight. AMC built only a few thousand, and many didn't survive the gas crunch and rising insurance rates that crushed big engine cars in the early 70s. Today, finding a real 401 Javelin in good condition is a rare treat for collectors. It's proof that sometimes the underdog delivers the biggest punch, and it reminds us that AMC deserves a seat at the muscle car legends table. Coming in at number 6 is a true holy grail for Mopar fans, the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT Hemi convertible. When Dodge introduced the Challenger in 1970, it quickly became one of the meanest muscle cars on the street. The RT package took it up a notch, but ordering it with the legendary 426 Hemi V8 put it in a league of its own. This engine was pure brute force. 425 horsepower, thunderous torque, and a reputation for embarrassing anything that dared pull up next to it at a stoplight. Most Challengers were ordered as hardtops because the Hemi option alone was expensive and insurance companies hated it. Add in the extra cost of the convertible, and very few buyers were bold enough to check both boxes. That's why only 9 Hemi Challenger convertibles were ever built for 1970, making this one of the rarest production muscle cars of all time. Original examples, especially with matching numbers, are worth millions today and almost never come up for sale. For Mopar collectors, the Hemi Challenger convertible is the ultimate prize. Raw power, open-top cruising, and classic 70s muscle all rolled into one. Spotting one in the wild is about as likely as finding buried treasure. But that's what makes this legend so special. Number 5 on our list is so rare, most people have never even seen one in person. The 1970 Ford Torino King Cobra. This wasn't your average Torino. In fact, it was never meant for regular roads at all. The King Cobra was Ford's secret weapon for NASCAR, a purpose-built aero car designed to dominate high-speed tracks and take down Dodge's unstoppable Charger Daytona and Plymouth Superbird. To do it, Ford gave the Torino a radically sloped front nose, hidden headlights, and a low-slung front end that cut through the air like a bullet. Under the hood, it packed Ford's powerful big-block 429 Cobra Jet V8, ready to roar at over 140 miles per hour on the superspeedway. But here's what makes it truly legendary. The project was canceled before it could ever hit the track. NASCAR changed its rules to ban these extreme aero cars, killing Ford's plan overnight. Only 3 King Cobras were ever built, 2 prototypes with the 429 engine and 1 with a Boss 429. Today, these cars are priceless pieces of Ford racing history, locked away in private collections and museums. They're a glimpse into a what-if world where Ford could have owned NASCAR's fastest lanes, and they stand as some of the rarest muscle legends ever made. Number 4 on our list is a true sleeper, the 1970 Buick GS Stage 1 convertible. While Buick might not be the first name you think of when it comes to muscle cars, the GS Stage 1 proved they could build a street monster that ran with the best of them and looked classy doing it. Under the hood sat a massive 455 cubic inch V8, officially rated at 360 horsepower, but the real secret was its torque. Over 500 pound-feet, making it one of the most torque-rich American cars of its time. The Stage 1 option added bigger valves, a hotter cam, and a tuned carburetor that turned this luxury coupe into a serious threat at the drag strip. What makes it ultra rare is the fact that only 232 GS Stage 1 convertibles were produced in 1970, and many didn't survive the decades that followed. These cars blended luxury touches with raw performance, giving you leather seats, power windows, and air conditioning alongside tire shredding power. Today, an original, well-preserved GS Stage 1 convertible is like finding hidden treasure in the muscle car world. It's a reminder that performance didn't always mean loud stripes and spoilers. Sometimes it came wrapped in a Buick badge with a hint of class and a whole lot of bite.
Number 3.
We have a classic that proves Oldsmobile knew how to build serious muscle. The 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30 convertible. While Oldsmobile often gets overshadowed by Chevy, Dodge, and Pontiac, the 442 showed the world that Olds could deliver big block power with refined style. The W30 package was the top performance spec, giving you a Ram Air inducted 455 cubic inch V8 that put out a conservative factory rating of 370 horsepower. But everyone knows the real number was higher. It came with special heads, a hotter cam, and better breathing to push massive torque through the tires with ease. For 1970, you could order this beast as a convertible, but few people did. Insurance was climbing fast, gas prices were creeping up, and a drop-top W30 just wasn't practical for most buyers back then. That's why only about 96 W30 convertibles were ever built that year, making them one of the rarest Oldsmobiles you can find today. Spotting an original, numbers-matching W30 ragtop is like seeing a unicorn at a car show. For muscle car fans, it's the perfect blend of luxury, brute force, and drop-top freedom. A reminder that Oldsmobile's glory days were anything but ordinary.
Number 2.
On our list takes us deep into muscle car myth, the 1970 Mercury Cyclone spoiler Boss 429. While the Boss 429 is most famous under the hood of the Mustang, a handful of Mercury fans managed to special order it in the big, aggressive Cyclone spoiler. The Cyclone was Mercury's NASCAR-inspired street machine, designed to take on the Plymouth Superbird and Dodge Charger Daytona on the high banks. It came with wild styling, a sleek nose, rear spoiler, and bold graphics that made it look ready for the track straight from the factory. But the real legend is under the hood, the massive Boss 429 V8. Ford built this monster for NASCAR homologation, with hemispherical heads and race-ready internals pumping out well over 370 horsepower. But the real number was closer to 500 when tuned right. Very few Cyclone spoilers ever got the Boss 429. Estimates say fewer than 5 were built, making it one of the rarest Ford big block combos ever to hit the streets. Most people have never even heard of it, let alone seen one in person. Today, the Mercury Cyclone spoiler Boss 429 stands as a nearly mythical beast, a hidden link between Mercury's muscle car glory and Ford's NASCAR dominance. Spotting one is like finding buried treasure.
Number 1.
To wrap up our list, we have one of the most recognizable and legendary American muscle cars ever built, the 1970 Plymouth Superbird 440 six-pack. This wild-looking machine was born for one reason, to win big in NASCAR. Plymouth designed the Superbird with a massive pointed nose cone and that famous towering rear wing to slice through the air at high speeds. Under the hood, buyers could choose from 3 engines, but the 440 six-pack was a favorite, packing a 440 cubic inch V8 with 3 two-barrel carburetors, delivering 390 horsepower and serious street credibility. This setup gave drivers almost Hemi-level power without the higher cost. On the track, the Superbird dominated, with Richard Petty behind the wheel, helping him become a NASCAR legend. But on the street, the car's radical looks scared off buyers. Insurance companies hated it, and many people didn't want to drive something so outrageous every day. Plymouth built just under 2,000 Superbirds to meet NASCAR's homologation rules, and today, survivors are rare and incredibly prized. A real 440 six-pack Superbird is a rolling piece of racing history, an unmistakable symbol of when Detroit's engineers went all in to beat the clock and each other. If you see one, you're looking at NASCAR muscle car royalty. These 10 powerful and ultra-rare machines remind us why the 70s were the golden age of American muscle. Bold designs, insane engines, and legends you almost never see today. If you love hearing about hidden classics like these, make sure to hit that like button and share your favorite in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more muscle car legends, forgotten builds, and untold stories coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next ride down memory lane.